Hi everyone, welcome back to Catholic Home Life. My name is Lindsey, and in this video today I'm going to talk to you about my scheduling for our upcoming school year. Now, in my last video, I asked you here and on Instagram, I asked my friends on Instagram what you'd rather see, a curriculum haul or a schedule video, and most people wanted to hear about the scheduling. So that is what I'm talking about this week. But maybe next week I will talk about curriculum because I know there was some interest for that too. But anyway, just a little introduction for you, for those of you who are new around here. My name is Lindsey. I've been married for 12 years. I have 6 kids. My oldest is 11 and he's in 6th grade. He's going into 6th grade. And then I have an 8-year-old. He's going into 3rd grade. I have a 6-year-old. She is going into 1st grade. And then I have a 3-year-old, he's a preschooler, and I have twin boys, and they are 1.5. So, yeah, they're kind of just, maybe sometime I'll do a video about like juggling the littles while you're trying to homeschool, because that is a challenge in and of itself. So yeah, today I'm talking about our schedule, and this is the plan. Now, what I've learned with homeschooling, I've homeschooled all the years so far. We've never done anything else, just homeschooling. And what I've learned is just to be so flexible, especially at the beginning of the year, because it's awesome to have a plan, but it's also really great to be very flexible. And if something isn't working, to be able to tweak that a little bit. So basically, when I started thinking about what I want our day to look like once we begin school again, I try to look at what is the natural rhythm to our day and how can I fit school into the natural rhythm. Because I made the mistake at the beginning of our homeschooling journey to try to make our home like school. And I quickly realized that just didn't work and it felt very forced. And so I have worked over the years to really make schooling feel very natural, and it like fits right in with the rhythm of our day. And I think it's also important to say that homeschooling can look completely different from family to family. So you'll probably notice similarities from one family to the other, but you also might see something totally different. Like maybe both parents are working full time, but they can still make it work. And maybe some people are homeschooling in the evenings and their free time is in the morning. So anyway, there's just a huge variety of how you can homeschool and how you can schedule your day. So I'm just sharing how it works for our family, and I hope it's helpful for you. So I hope it will give you some ideas of maybe how you could structure your day based on seeing how someone else structures theirs. So this year, what I am doing is, you probably know Jordan Page. If you don't, she has a YouTube channel called Fun, Cheap, or Free. This is not sponsored in any way. I've been following her on her YouTube channel for many years. I don't even know how long. And I really enjoy her content, and she's a mom of 8 children. She has twins too. So I just really relate to her, and she came out with a product called Productivity Bootcamp, which I did part of that earlier this year because she had it for free for a month. And so I was trying that out, and I really learned a lot from that boot camp. And then she also has this product from it's a productivity planner, and she sells like a hard copy version of the planner, but she also sells a PDF version that you can just print as much as you want, and the PDF is way cheaper than the hard copy. So I went for the PDF, and I got that, and that planner is what I'm using to kind of help me plan my day. Also, I should say, earlier this year, I read The Mother's Rule of Life by Holly Perlot, or Perlot, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. But anyway, that is a Catholic mother's book that can help you figure out the priorities in your day and how to prioritize things based on your vocation as a wife and a mother and a homeschooling mom too. So I read that book, and that has also helped me put myself in the right place to think about our plan for the day. So I just wanted to mention that book too as a great resource if you're looking for a book to give you advice on planning. And so it's kind of blank here, but this is what the printable looks like for the Productivity Planner by Jordan Page. So I just printed this off. I can leave a link to the planner in the description box if you're interested in getting it for yourself. But I have it on a clipboard because I was thinking I could put it in a binder, but the problem with binders, I know this is an excuse, but I don't like that I have to open it. It's just like one more thing to do. So if it's closed, then I'm not seeing it and it's less likely to happen. So that's just what I think. So I put it on a clipboard because then I can just have this out on my counter in the kitchen. I can carry it around with me. I can have my pen like sticking on it. And I think that I will actually use it because I'm not great at using planners, like physical book planners. So I think this will be very helpful for me. And her big thing is that Jordan Page, she does this block scheduling, and that is how I'm structuring my day. So we have our morning block. I don't know if you can see this. We have our morning block from 7 to 9:30. So in the morning block, we're like getting up, doing our chores, getting dressed. Breakfast is at 9. And then at 9:30, we are starting school. And that leads into our next block, which is our school block, and that is from 9:30 to 12:30. So also I should say when we're when we're eating breakfast at 9, we will be listening to our memory work, which is from Catholic Schoolhouse. We are part of a co-op that we listen to memory work every day, and it's all the subjects. If you're interested in that, I can do another video on Catholic Schoolhouse, but we listen to that while we're eating breakfast, and I've just learned that if you tag a subject onto each meal, it's very helpful to get it done. So we listen to our memory work while we're eating breakfast, and then at 9:30 we kind of begin more formal schooling. And I have the school block. I kind of have it mapped out, but what I like about blocks is that it's not a super firm timeline. So there is some flexibility built into it, and you don't feel like you're a failure because like, oh, it's 10 o'clock and from 10 to 10:15 we're supposed to be reading a saint book, or whatever it is. Like if you have it so narrow and specific, I notice that I will often fail and then I give up on myself. So the blocks, I think, will really help me because I might actually succeed in fitting the duties that I have into each block. So for our school block, I have it planned out in my mind and on paper. This is where I have my like detailed plan of what happens in each block. So let me just read it to you. From 9:30 to 10, we're going to have our group time, and that's where I'm doing group lessons where I'm doing one subject for all grades. And depending on the age level, we might go a little bit deeper in with each subject. But like my little kids are hearing the same history lesson as my big kids, and it just makes things a lot more simple for our curriculum. So the group lesson will happen first, and then from 10 to 10:30-ish, I will be having mommy time. I call it mommy time, where I am with one student and I help them with anything that they need help with. So their math or their reading lesson or whatever it is. They have a half an hour at the beginning of the day. I have a little more time later on that if I need more time with kids one-on-one, then I can do that. But we start out with half an hour. So I do half an hour with Gianna, Then once that's over, I will do Peter and then John. And that goes from youngest to oldest. And I decided to do that because I think my youngest kids have the shorter attention span and they have less patience. So I want to make sure to get to my younger children first. And while I'm having mommy time with each of my students, my children, then the other kids are either supposed to be entertaining my babies or my 3-year-old. And that doesn't need to happen all the time. Like if they're happily playing independently, then they don't need to be entertained. But if they're needing some love, then my other kids that I'm not doing mommy time with, that will be their responsibility to read books to the little kids or play with Play-Doh with the little kids or do something with the little kids. And so for an hour and a half, I'm cycling through my 3 children that are in school. So first Gianna, then Peter, then John. And that puts us around 11:30, which leaves me an hour still in my school block because that ends at 12:30. So that means I have it marked as independent time from 11:30 to 12:30. So that means if someone does need more help from me, then I can go back and help them more. But hopefully what I did for that half an hour for each of them will help them to be independent and to finish up their school. Now, my daughter Gianna, who's in first grade, she will be done by 12:30. She should be totally done with all of her schoolwork because I just don't do a whole lot for first grade. And that's 3 hours of schooling, and I think that's plenty for first grade. So she should be done. And then I have Peter and John, which hopefully they'll be done by 12:30. But if they're not, I have time built in later in the day in our afternoon block where they can finish up school. So that leads us to the afternoon block, which is from 12:30 to 3 p.m. During that block, we eat lunch at 1 o'clock. The goal is to have school done by 1, by lunchtime. But like I said, if that doesn't happen, then that's okay. We can finish it up after lunch. My babies, my twins, they go down for their nap at noon. So they are down for their nap, and then we'll be having lunch at 1 o'clock. And after that, if my bigger kids, if John and Peter need any help finishing up the schoolwork, I will be available because my babies are napping. So that's like if they really need exclusive time with me, that is the golden hour where I can really pay attention to them. And if my children are done by lunch, then the rest of the day is time to play. And they have free time. After lunch, they have free time, and then the afternoon block ends at 3, and then from 3 to 5 I'm calling it the after school block. I really need better names for these blocks, but maybe I'll come up with that later in the year. But anyway, so there's like the afternoon block, and then which has lunch in it and some free time and finishing up school. I am still, in my mind, that time in the afternoon, right after lunch, I am available for my children. So if they need me for anything to finish up school, I'm available. But then the after school block from 3 to 5, that is when I am kind of blocking off and clocking out for the day for being a teacher. So I have other responsibilities around the house, things I need to do. And so that after school block from 3 to 5, that's kind of time where I can get the other things done that I need to get done. And then at 5 o'clock, that's when I need to head into the kitchen to start making dinner. And the goal is to have dinner at 6. Now, honestly, it's usually closer to 7 most days, but that's because I'm not very disciplined about getting into the kitchen right at 5 to make dinner. So I really need to be better about that, because when we have an earlier dinner, our whole evening is better and it just runs a lot smoother. So The evening block is from 5 to 9, and during that block, I'm making dinner. We're eating dinner at 6, hopefully, and then we are doing cleanup. The kids are doing their chores. I am bathing the babies and my 3-year-old, and my big kids are helping me with all of that. And then hopefully the goal would be 7:30. Lately it's been 8, but we're still kind of in summer mode. The goal is at 7:30, we will all gather in the living room and we pray the family rosary together. So that's from 7:30 to 8. And then at 8 o'clock, Gianna, my 6-year-old, and Damien, my 3-year-old, they go to bed. I should say the babies, they are already in bed. They go to bed at 7. So right after their bath, the babies go to bed, which kind of is nice because it gives me a little bit of evening time with my older children, and I can read books to them and focus on them. So yeah, babies are in bed, pray the rosary at 7:30. At 8 o'clock, my 6-year-old and 3-year-old, they go to bed. And then from 8 to 9, that is when I have hangout time with my older sons. And I started doing this a while ago, and I really enjoy it because we can play games together, like card games or board games. We can just chat together. There's just so much opportunity there to have that one-on-one time with your older kids, because they have helped me. They help me so much in the day, and I kind of want to reward that. I want them to have that adult time where they feel like, because they see me and my husband hanging out at night and enjoying that time together. And I think that I want to foster a relationship with my older children. Once they reach a certain age, I want to have hangout time with them when the younger children aren't around. So from 8 to 9, we have hangout time and play games, and they get out their candy stash if they have any candy, and they can eat that if they want to. And then at 9 o'clock, they go to bed, and then from 9 to 10:30, that is when my husband and I are relaxing and watching a show, hanging out. I might be finishing up the dishes, things like that. And then my goal is to go to bed at 10:30. And yeah, I've been staying up way too late, like 11:30 to midnight some nights, and I really need to stop doing that because the babies are still waking up a little bit in the night. They're getting a lot better, but it's just very important that I get my sleep. So my goal for the school year is to be in bed by 10:30. I might read a little bit or do some prayer in my bed before I drift off to sleep, but that is the goal, is to be in bed by 10:30. And then it just starts all over again the next day, and it's just a cycle. But I really like this printable. It has like these morning responsibilities here and then evening things. I'm a big check off person. I also like how it has a P and a U in each block, and that's for plugged and unplugged. So it's like if you should be on your phone or not. So I like that. And I also wanted to tell you that these blocks, I put timers on my phone so that my phone puts out an alarm every time the block is changing. And that's something that Jordan Page recommends doing. That way, when you hear the alarm, it's like a signal in your brain, like, okay, I'm moving on to the next block. And whatever I didn't get done in this block, I can just do it tomorrow in the same block. So I'm hoping this works well. And that's basically our schedule for the homeschool year. And like I said, I might have to tweak it once we get going and we start. But I already know how our day runs. And I think that this will really fit in well with what we are already doing. So that is my schedule. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it made sense. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments down below, and I'll be happy to answer them. I hope you're doing well, and I'll talk to you in my next video. God bless you. Bye!